Hello, it's Gabby, and it is early Sunday morning, about 9:15, and I just finished one of my amazing coaching calls, my Women in Wellness Club calls, which I've had at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning for the last 14 months, which is many, many calls with many, many beautiful women. And each coaching call that I do with these women takes me deeper and deeper into understanding what fuels us to do the work that we do, what prevents us from having the success that we're trying to have, and gives me insight into the way that we cross over from where we are to where we want to be. I'm utterly fascinated by the process that we take from powerlessness to powerful, from pain to pleasure, from a feeling of constriction and being repressed to a feeling of freedom and ease, from feeling ashamed or embarrassed or like we need to hold ourselves back to a place where we're really grounded in self-esteem and self-respect and self-confidence, from victim to survivor and warrior. That whole journey of going from small to expansive is not only part of our personal growth journey if we're on a path of consciousness and we're on a path of growth and transformation, but it's also embedded in the work that we do. So I work mostly with health and wellness entrepreneurs, and so that's the area that I study. That's my expertise. Those are the people that I serve. And the entrepreneurial journey, no one tells you, no one tells you how crazy difficult, how challenging and revealing that process is going to be. No one tells you about the deep vulnerability and things that you learn about yourself when you work for yourself and you have to rely on yourself 24/7 to be the engine behind what you're trying to build. Not only the business that you're trying to make, but the legacy that you're trying to leave in the world, the people that you need to take care of, whether it's your kids or your clients. Nobody tells you really, really what that's going to be like. You get more insight into what it's going to be like to climb a mountain or to run a marathon, really, than you do about this conscious journey of entrepreneurship. And that's the journey that I've been on myself, and also guiding many women through this experience. Hey, Paula. Hi. Nice to see you from Buffalo. I hope things are well there. I'm not even expecting many people to come onto this live stream because I think most people are sleeping on Sunday morning, which is what I would be doing if I weren't working. But I love getting up and I love having these conversations because I think that if we don't really disclose what this experience is like, then we can often feel like maybe we're doing something wrong or we're not good enough. And I've been training for this Spartan race, so I have a Spartan race next weekend. I've never done an athletic event in my life. I was a dancer for 20 years. I was a yogi for a dozen years. I've traveled all over the world with a backpack to 40 countries. I've sailed all over. I've never done an athletic event. So this athletic event is like way, way out of my comfort zone. And what I noticed about my mind when I approached a lot of the obstacles in the event was this feeling of like, oh, there's no way I can do that. Like just yesterday, I was carrying around this 200-pound tire, like running around the building with this tire. And the thinking is like, oh, I can't do it, or it's too hard. And that's the same thinking that we bring to our family, our relationships, our diet, our health, our finances, all the things that we're doing. Whatever attitude you have towards one obstacle is the attitude that you're going to have towards all the obstacles that you face, and there's so many, right? When I started coaching, like when I started doing the business coaching for female entrepreneurs about 2 years ago, I wrongly assumed that all I needed to do was give them tactical information, like say, this is how you build a website, this is how you create an event, this is how you do social media, and that everybody was just going to be off and running. That phrase, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. I thought it was just like, I'm just going to teach everybody how to fish, right? But what if the person that you're trying to teach is like, oh, I'm no good at fishing, and my rod is old and useless, and everybody else is better at fishing than me, and maybe I should just eat seaweed instead. Then it's like, oh, now we're facing resistance. What is resistance? Resistance is the constriction, the fist around the thing that we really, really care about. So what I've learned about myself is the more that I care, the more I get tight about it, the more I hold my breath about it, the more I worry about it, the more I create anxiety about it, the less likely it is to just be effortless and just happen, right? The less ease, the less confidence, because I've gotten myself so knotted up about the thing that I want so badly. And I have lots of analogies for this in my mind. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Tommy Boy, but it's this really funny movie with Chris Farley, and he's given his dad's company, and he has to make it successful, or, the dad dies, and, the company's going to go under if he doesn't fix it. So there's this scene where he's talking about how he loves something, and he loves it, 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 and then he squeezes it, and it dies, right? He, crushes it in his hands. I see that if people bring too much of an intensity to what they want, myself included, it can be so much harder to just pick up the phone and make the phone call that you have to make, or get on the stage and say the thing you want to say, or even climb over the wall in the gym. If you want it so badly and there's so much tension around it, it can make it so much harder. I feel like part of my role in the work that I'm doing now is diffusing some of that, is taking away some of the tension and the constriction and diffusing that and allowing everything to just flow. And what's super interesting is that I've been a healer for 20 years, and I'm a licensed massage therapist, I'm an energy healer, and I've been touching thousands of people for my whole career, and I've been putting my hands on their muscles, and I've been smoothing it out, and I've been putting my hands in their energy field, and I've been smoothing it out. And actually, I think I'm still doing exactly the same work that I've always been doing. I'm just putting my hands in there, and I'm just smoothing it out. And it's almost like once you do that, once you really just kind of smooth out the energy, and you just sort of smooth out the tension, and you get into that alignment, there's a natural unfolding there. It's easy for things to come when we're not so tightly holding to the worry about it not coming, fear about it not coming. I'm supporting people to do this in two amazing ways. One is the Women in Wellness Club, which we're now enrolling for the month of May. So if you're working in wellness, if you want to work in wellness, if you know anyone working in wellness, we're now enrolling for the May session, which is these live calls that we do every week, where we get into really juicy stuff like this, as well as the tactical information. And I'm doing an awesome event in New York in 2 weeks on May 7th, which is a face-to-face retreat for half a day with amazing speakers to dive into this stuff in a really cool location in New York City, Primary Co-working Space, which is also for healers. So I just wanted to share some of my joy with you this morning about what I'm doing, and about this experience of really moving to a place of power and pleasure and freedom, and being an awesome wellness warrior. So I hope that you have a great weekend, and stay tuned next weekend for my Spartan race, because I'll be broadcasting live from there. See you soon. Bye.